Hello Libra, I hope you're doing well today. Libra, I'm going to make this very short and sweet because I am losing the light. It's already gone 4:30 here in the UK, so the sun is going to set very soon. So Libra, there's no dates on these readings anymore, so if the message finds you at any point in time, then that's fine, it's still relevant. Libra, please don't try and force the message to fit. You know, if it sounds like your storyline, then that's fantastic, and I hope that you can find something in here for you, but obviously don't try and force it to fit your situation, because then you're just going to get loads of misinformation, and you wouldn't want that, because then it all just gets confusing. So if you don't find anything in this video, hopefully you will in the next one. And also Libra, energies can be reversed as well. So Libra, I have a little bit more energy and a little bit more freedom with your reading now, because I just did Virgos, and there's a lot of people in the house right now. So if you notice that my voice is going from like a bit louder to like much quieter, it's just because I'm quite conscious that I've got people like either side of me, people downstairs, but I can't hear them at the minute, so hopefully we've got a little bit more privacy for your reading. So Libra, how have you been, Libra? I never actually got to do Libra in my old videos because I did them all by element, and I never did any of the air signs, so I do apologise, Libra. This is our first meeting. Hi. Nice to meet you, Libra. Okay, so card for Libra, please. Which Libra am I connecting with today? That was quite a lot of cards. How many was that? Okay, I can only find 2. But I kind of feel like I felt more land out, but maybe not. Okay, so we're just going to go with these 2, and I'll look later. Oh, really, really interesting, Libra. I have never ever seen these cards come out in any of my spreads before, okay? So you've got the cat, which is more like the wildcat, really. This looks like the Scottish wildcat. And then you have the crane. So let me just figure this out a moment. Let me figure out if this is 2 separate things or if these are conjoined. Okay. I want to put these 2 energies here together, okay? But we're gonna interpret them separately first. Okay, so let's start with the cat. I love cats. Oh, I just wish I had a cat. I really do. My life would be so much better if I had a pet cat. Anyway, so the cat to me always speaks about independence, okay? Because cats, you know, we can keep them as pets, but you know, we can never really take the wild out of them, even though we've domesticated them. You know, there's always something about them that needs to roam. They need freedom. They need to be able to come and go as they please. So Libra, this could be you, or it could be someone or a situation that you're dealing with. But there's something about whatever this cat energy represents for you, it's something that you can't pin down. It's something that you can't pin down. It's something that you can't put a label on. You can't own it. It's a very freeing energy. It's almost like exhilarating, like it looks for a sense of adventure. It looks for the next thing that's going to kind of fire it up, that's going to exhilarate it, that's going to cause it a little bit of excitement. But it does come back, Libra. It does come back. Cats usually always come back, is what I do want to say, just to try and, like, if anybody's freaking out there. This is not to say that this is a person, by the way. This could be anything. This could be a situation in your life in any area, okay? But it's something that's really hard to pin down. It's kind of like maybe one minute you kind of think that you've figured it out, and you know, you've got everything in place, you've got everything sorted, and then it's kind of like, oh, it just kind of goes, it like goes with the wind. But then it always kind of comes back, it always kind of lands on your doorstep, I do want to say. And then when we move over to the crane, so the crane is a really spiritual totem, really spiritual. I mean, we can see that it's got the picture of the moon here in the background, and you know, this waterfall here, you know, so it's very, very connected to the subconscious, the collective subconscious. And what I mean by that is the realm of the spiritual, you know, but the crane is all about balance. It's all about balance. And Libra, you are the scales in the zodiac, okay? You are all about balance. That is fundamentally what makes you up as an individual, you know? Bringing balance to situations, finding the middle path, finding the middle road. Sorry if you can hear people outside. As I was saying, there's lots of people moving around the house today and hanging about outside. So I do want to say, though, these two things are evidently connected. You know, there's something about this kind of appears more an internal energy, Libra. So this could be you or the other person, okay? You might be the cat, Libra. You might be the cat, okay? But what I do want to say is the Libra is appearing... The Libra? So this is probably you, Libra, seeing as you are the sign of balance. And here we have the totem of balance. But there's something about your stance that's very, very balanced. It takes a lot to trip the Libra up. Nothing gets past the Libra. Nothing gets past the Libra. Nothing's necessarily going to knock your balance. Someone might think that they're able to. Someone might think that they're able to pull a fast one on you. Maybe Libra. They might think, you know, they might think that they're catching you off guard, that, you know, you're in, because you're in such a relaxed stance here. Your stance is so relaxed, you know, you're just kind of lounging on one leg. So it's almost like perhaps this cat might think it can pull a fast one on you, Libra, but what the cat doesn't realise is that Libra is the sign of balance, and just because you're standing on one leg does not mean that you haven't got yourself firmly planted in your position. You're immovable, almost, Libra. And I do want to keep coming back to this kind of imagery of like nothing gets past you. You know, this energy is kind of coming across a little bit sly now. So this very well could be that somebody that you're dealing with, somebody who's quite flighty. You know, like I was saying, they come and they go. Whereas Libra, you're coming across as very solid, very dependable, sorry, is what I want to say, not dependent. You're not dependent, Libra, evidently. I mean, look at you. You know, flourishing. Look at this garden. There's so much abundance around this individual here. This individual's kind of just got like, you know, a bit of an aggressive stance on two rocks. So Libra, you know, it could be something like moving forward, or maybe this has just recently happened. Maybe this has just recently happened because I just heard past in my head. So maybe this is something that's just happened in recent past. You might have almost had a bit of a standoff with someone, or a confrontation, or a talk of some description, where this one's kind of a bit irritated, a bit agitated that they haven't been able to pull a fast one, or that Libra isn't budging from their position. It's almost like this cat's tried to like sneak back into the house, and it's like Crane was already up, Crane was sat up, awake, and was like, ha, don't think so, mate, back out in the garden. And kitty cat isn't happy about it. Okay? Interesting, Libra. Interesting. Okay, so, wow. Ooh, that one wanted to come out clearly. I was going to say 9 minutes and I've only done 2 cards. Undressing of a salad. Libra, this is more balance. This is literally the card of finding the balance within the chaos. I'm sorry that the cards don't focus. My camera doesn't autofocus for some reason. But you see how he's got all these pearls here? Like pearls of wisdom. This is again you, Libra. It's like Libra. In fact, right, look at the symmetry in this. You see how he's holding a pearl here, and then we literally have this like moon above here, which looks like the pearl. It's like Libra, you have some knowledge, right? Some knowledge, some information that is allowing you to take a very balanced approach to this situation. hold on. How do I best want to say this? Give me a minute, Libra. I want to make sure that I word this correctly. Libra, I think you've found out something. You've come into awareness. You've got a pearl of wisdom about this kitty cat over here. It's like connecting the dots. You see all these balls here? It's connecting the dots. So something about you, Libra, you know, it's interesting how I was saying, you know, kitty cat snuck back in or has been all flighty in that. You know, we could very well be talking here about, you know, some adultery, maybe. That's not going to be for everybody, obviously. If you're connecting with this message, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. This is why I said at the start, don't try and make the message fit, because then you're going to get misinformation, okay? But if this is screaming in somebody's face like, oh my God, I know exactly what that is, connecting the dots, information coming through, information that, you know, look at the way that the crane's posture is. You know, it looks kind of a bit, you know, just a bit sad, disappointed. You know, this, so it might not be, you know, an adultery situation, you know. Could be, you know, like a child coming in after a mad party and like the Libra parent, you know, it's like connected the dots, like you weren't where you said you were, mate. I know exactly where you were. You ain't sneaking in. You know, it's like that kind of a dynamic. So it can be applied to different situations, okay? But like I was saying, Libra, you'll know if this message is for you because it'll just be like alarm bells going off in your brain. Okay, but there's something here about you, Libra. You've connected the dots, you've come into awareness, you've come into information about something. And you're confronting this cat and you're kind of ready for a little bit of a combat. But Libra, I do want to say you absolutely have the upper hand here in whatever situation this is. You absolutely have the upper hand. You have the upper hand because you have the wisdom, whether that's through past experiences just going through your life or because you actually have the physical information to back up your argument. But Libra, you are in the higher position here, I do want to say, because look at the way this cat is. It's like, you know, it's like it's been stung. You know, it's very defensive because it knows it's done wrong, because it knows it's in the wrong. Okay. Wow, it's like 13 minutes and I've only done 3 cards. Okay, let's pull a bit more, shall we? Well done, Libra. Truly well done. And I do want to say, don't back down on your side of the argument. Put forward your case. Articulate your case. Articulate your case and hold your position. Okay, so we've got Meikle and Muckle here. This is a card of the child. Okay, so like I was saying before, Libra, you could be a parent with a child and you've come into some information. You know, like I was saying, just as a very broad example, you know, they might have snuck out somewhere and then you figured out it wasn't where they said they were, and, you know, or they've not been going where they've said they've been going and you've been figuring it out, and, you know, it's that kind of situation. Or, you know, this can still apply to, you know, if someone's been, you know, flaky, if they've been flighty. You know, it's not necessarily, you know, like I was saying before, just to give more examples, because I really don't want anyone to misinterpret this, you know, if it's nothing to do with like a third party situation, then it could just be that, you know, Libra's kind of fed up now that kitty cat here wants to go out, you know, roaming out till all hours, partying, doing God knows what. I don't know, you know your situation, Libra, and you're just kind of like, no, you know, we've been together too long, or, you know, I've given so much of myself to this situation. You know, it's time that we have a talk. I'm not backing down. You know, this is what I expect from you. That could be another situation, okay? But going back to this Meikle and Muckle, okay? So even though this represents the child, basically what it symbolizes is a childlike immaturity, okay? So this is what I feel is around your cat. There's something about this cat that is, this sounds really harsh. Sounds really harsh. But they're underdeveloped emotionally. Like, I'm actually hearing emotionally stunted. There's something about your cat that's emotionally stunted, Libra, or they've not had the life experience that you've had. They've not had the lessons, or maybe they've had the lessons, they just haven't chosen to listen. They haven't chosen to grow through them and evolve past them, to change their past behaviors. This might be something that, this might be a behavior that this cat has had for a very long time, and either they're just unaware of it, and so Libra's like confronting them now, like, okay, well, being the reflective water, mirroring back to them, okay, well, this is what I'm not happy with, this is what's not okay, and then confronting the cat. This might have been a behavior that the cat's had for a really long time, and it's either completely unaware of it and how it affects other people, or it just doesn't care. It's one or the other. I don't know this person, I don't know this situation. It's feeling more like a person dynamic to me, to be honest. It feels much more like this is an individual and this is you here, Libra. And remember, energies can be reversed, so this could be Libra, I'm just saying, but I'm going to stick with the narrative of, this is you over here. But there's something immature about this individual. It's like they don't get it. They just don't get it. And you know what? It might be, Libra, that you might literally sit there with your pearls of wisdom and you might be ready to, have a talk. But it's almost like this cat doesn't want to hear it. They're just like, la, 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 la. No, I don't want to hear it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, this isn't a receptive energy. This is a defensive energy. This is somebody who's defensive, who doesn't like what they're hearing. Maybe when you confront them, or you have confronted them, but this person instantly goes into defensiveness. They don't want to hear it, which is why I'm saying that there's something quite immature about this energy here. They're not willing to look at their own faults. They're not willing to look at the way that they behave. They're not willing to change. Maybe. Libra's like, well, I'm gonna goddamn try. It could be that maybe that's how they've been in the past, and now when Libra confronts them, the initial trigger, the initial primal instinct of like, no, I don't want to deal with this, la 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 la, fingers and ears, it might trigger that response in them. But it might be that over time, once they've had time to process it, that they do relax a little bit, and then they come back to you, and then you guys can actually have an open conversation. But I do want to say, if it's not happened yet, don't be surprised if this person doesn't necessarily want to hear what you've got to say. But they could change, Libra. You might be the one who's able to help them see a different perspective. You are the Justice card in the tarot. You restore balance. Master Maker. Libra, this is a really good omen. I actually think, what was I saying just then? You're Justice in the tarot. You're the one that restores balance. And the crane as well, actually, right? The crane in Asian tradition, is like a wise teacher. It's like a wise teacher energy. It's like I don't want to say a guru, but it's like the one who is very at peace within oneself, very balanced, very knowledgeable. It's a very teacher energy. So with the Master Maker coming out, this is like the thing that up levels something. It's the energy that takes something from an apprentice, takes something from an immature stage, a stage that is lacking in knowledge, lacking in experience, and it puts you through the 9 yards, and as a result you end up the master of the craft. So Libra, you might actually find, though initially this person might become very defensive, or they might not want to hear what you've got to say. Perhaps the way that people have approached them in the past, if they have tried to talk about these things with them, say if in past relationships or something, just for an example, it might be that the way that those individuals have confronted this cat in the past has been in a way that, you know, that other individual wasn't very balanced where they were coming from, you know, and then it caused outbursts, it caused arguments, and that might be what this cat is expecting is going to happen. But Libra, the difference with you here is that you have all these pearls of wisdom and you are balanced, you know? You're able to hear their side of the argument, and you're able to put your side of the argument across. You are the master maker, Libra. You already are, you already have achieved this. I do want to say whoever this Libra here is somebody very knowledgeable, somebody who's very mature, very evolved, knows what they're talking about, been around the ringer a few times. You know, it's not a patronizing energy at all. This is not a patronizing person. This is somebody who, you know, can back up their arguments. So it might be, Libra, that the way that you actually approach this cat is done in such a way that is so graceful and so non-confrontational. I was going to say combative then. Combative. That is a word, I just can't say it. But you know, it might be that the way that you approach this, although yes, you are confronting them, sorry, just not that. Although yes, you are confronting them, Libra, you're not causing an argument because you're so balanced in the way that you put it across, and you can back yourself up with all your facts. So Libra, you might be the person that is able to change this cat and their behaviors. You might be the person that's able to do it, able to up-level this individual. But Libra, the only way that I see that happening is if you do what you do best and you just take a very mature response. You expect maybe a bit of biting from the cat, but just keep it calm, keep it open communication, let them say their side of the story, because there's nothing more frustrating than somebody who's trying to get their side of the story across and they feel like they're not being heard. That's just going to cause more shadow to come into play. Okay, it's about you being open and receptive to this person, but still setting clear boundaries and saying your point of the argument. But hopefully by you taking that stance, you will act like this mirror of reflection, and eventually the cat will be able to kind of come down and meet you at that level. Okay, so Libra, I hope that you enjoyed that, and I really hope that you found something in there for you. If you didn't get anything in this video that, you know, can apply to your situation, then hopefully in the next one you will. So give me a subscribe if you liked it. And Libra, take care, stay safe for me, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Mwah! Bye, Libra.